Content registration allows you to officially register your apps with your Affinity account, and this gives you the ability to easily download and automatically install any content you may have purchased from the Affinity store. It also entitles you to free content as part of the registration process. So when you run the app, you will be greeted with this screen. If you have already closed it by clicking Don't Show Me Again or Remind Me Later, you can get back to this screen by clicking the account icon at the top right here. You can click Register Now to begin linking your app to your Affinity Store account. Now, if you have purchased the apps directly from the Affinity Store, you will already have an account. If you have purchased them elsewhere, like from the Apple App Store or the Microsoft Windows Store, you can create a free account. So once we have an account, we can enter our email address and password here. Then click Sign In. And we've now received confirmation that the app is registered to this account. So now we can click Go to My Account. Now, on the right-hand side here, we have all of our purchased or free content available from the Affinity Store that is currently registered to our account. We have some options on this menu up here. So Download All will of course download everything in this list in the background as the app is running and will install it automatically. This may or may not be desirable because you might have some content that is quite large in file size, so just be aware of this. We can cancel any downloads in progress, uninstall all of the content, and list any content incompatible with this particular Affinity app. For example, if we had some vector brushes intended for Affinity Designer, those would be incompatible with Affinity Photo. Resync Library is useful if you have just made a purchase or have redeemed content on the Affinity Store whilst the app is open. This just refreshes the current content list. Another useful option is down here, Always Install Available Content, which will automatically download and install store content from this list. And you can set an upper file size threshold to avoid downloading large amounts of content. To download individual content, we can click on the cloud icon next to the particular product we want. For example, we might go all the way to the bottom and download the Xenon brush pack bundle, and also the tattoo art brushes here. These are both brush packs, so I will just close this dialog, and we can find these on the brushes panel here as new categories. To get back to our store content, we can click the My Account icon once again. Notice this time, because we've linked up the app to our Affinity Store account, the icon is green. Now we might choose to download the fog overlays here and the JR channels macros. To use these, we can go to View, Studio, Assets, and also View, Studio, Library. To see these macros and assets in action, we could just quickly load up a document here. Then we could switch across to the Assets panel. I can toggle a list view here. Then I could just click drag this subtle plume image onto my document and scale it up, like so. Then across on my library, which contains the channels macros, I'll select the background pixel layer, then choose Extract CMYK Layers. Then on the K black layer, I'll set the blend mode to Screen and take the opacity down to about 60%. So as you can see, the in-app download functionality streamlines the whole installation process for content, and it just means ultimately you can spend more time editing. Content is also downloaded in the background, so if you have some large content packs, you can carry on working whilst they download. In the content list, you may find some content that cannot be downloaded directly into the app, either for licensing reasons or other factors. For example, we have here the iconic graphic and logo templates, and next to it we will see an Affinity icon. Clicking this will open a browser, and if we log into our Affinity Store account, it will take us directly to that entry on our account content list. Then we can, of course, download and install these manually. If you are unsure of how to do this, do be aware that every content pack on the Affinity Store will come with some form of installation guide, usually as a PDF. Anyway, that was a quick look at how app registration and content syncing works. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found it useful.